welcome to the Quilter's Apothecary. Today is going to be the last part of our basic swirl series for tutorials, and we're actually going to take that swirl and we're going to use some zig in and zig out shapes in that swirl to make it really pop and something special. So let's head over to the drawing board and work on that. There are exercises in surface quilting that really help the surface quilter with things like changing direction, which actually don't come natural once you start learning, because all of these designs is like learning a whole new cursive. And so we have to build certain muscles. And this is one of my favorite exercises. A straight line is simply a straight line. So now what I want us to do is I want you to make some rows with just straight line, zig up, zig down, zig up, zig down, zig up, zig down, and just continue. Zig down, zig up, zig down, and you just flip back and forth. Zig up, zig down, back and forth. So what you're building is sprockets. Now a lot of people have taken this exercise of mine and turned it into different things like they call it razor wire. I'm going to show you how to use it in that basic swirl that we used. So now I want us to remember a straight line is simply a straight line. This is simply a straight line that has a zig up, go over, zig down, zig up, all the way. When that feels comfortable, and only when that starts to feel comfortable. And when I say feels comfortable, it means that you're not doing buzzsaw. Zig ups, zig ups, zig ups. You actually remember to alternate it between zig up, zig down, zig up, zig down, zig up, zig down. At that point, now we move on to the next step. For the next step, we're going to take that straight line and spiral it. So we're going to start at the very center, and we're going to create some spirals. So you're just going to start that straight line, and it's going to spiral and circle around itself. Remember, we start at the center for this exercise. So just do that. The echoing is going to come. The best way to do really good echoing is to stop trying. Your eye will automatically properly distance your echoing if you just start to relax. So just practice that. And what I want you to notice as you practice that is how when you spiral, it's always on a curve. You're always curving. Curve, curve, curve. So that straight line that we did earlier is a straight line. It's exactly this. Now it just curves around itself. It's constantly curving, which is creating that wonderful spiral. That's going to help you on that next step. So now our next step is we're going to go back to that spiral shape, and we're going to start with our spiral around. And as we start around now, we go zig in, zig out, curve, zig in, curve, zig out. So you again are going back to that straight line, but it's on a curve. It's spiraling around itself. This is one of the best exercises for surface quilters because, number one, it works on switching directions quickly. It also teaches you about curvature, about echoing. Your echoing is going to become wonderful just after 5 minutes of practicing this on paper. Okay, so now let's do a little troubleshooting, because this is what a few of you are going to get when you try this. You're going to start around, and then you're going to start doing your zigs, and you're going to get these jagged edges, and you might start getting some buzzsaws. All that's happening is that you're not talking to yourself. Zig in, zig out. You're only zigging out. You're not zigging in. And that's what's happened here. Also notice, we have straight lines. Nothing's curving here. And this is one of the biggest things I see when people start doing this exercise. And that's why a lot of times we see real inconsistent quilting is where you should be curving, you're moving in a straight line because it feels more natural. So let's correct it, and as we go, remember it's a curve, zig in, curve, zig out, curve, zig in, curve, zig out, curve, zig in, curve, zig out, curve, zig in, to get something smooth like this. So again, this is going to take you a few pages. This is something you do want to work with if you want to get more proficient quickly. Now we're going to take that zig in and zig out movement, and we're going to add it to that basic swirl that we learned a few weeks ago. So I'm going to start with my hook shape. I'm going to echo up the tail, and then at any point I can start adding zig in, zig out. And then we want to echo that in, and as you work your way around, zig in, zig out, zig in, zig out, zig in, come out, go into the next swirl, zig in, zig out, zig in, zig out, This shape you can add to just about anything, whether it be the swirls as we're doing now, or if you wanted to, if you were doing some feather fronds, you could do a feather frond, zig in, zig out, zig in, zig out, go back into your swirls, and again as I go around these long curves, that's when I'll go ahead and add my zig out, zig in, continue echoing that. And during an echo, if you want to add just a little bit of movement, it's a great thing to just throw in. Zig out, zig in, zig out. And you're going to fill in your whole area and work your way through. Zig out, zig in, and obviously you're going to get a different look the more zig in and zig outs that you do. Also, on the outside, if you tend to go into your hook shape and then come around the outside with your zig in, zig out, zig in, zig out, it's going to give you more of a razor wire appearance. So now let's take this over to the machine. We'll add this to the basic swirl and see what we have with that. Okay, so now we're going to take our basic swirl and we're actually going to add our zig in and zig out and turn that into a more spiky edge to edge. So just like before, we're going to start with our hook shape. Come back up, zig out, zig in, zig out, zig in. Go back into our echo, just like if we were doing our basic, and whenever you want, you start throwing in the zig out or the zig in. And even as you echo around your previous work, you continue to do that. Now, we'll take our swirl, zig in, zig out, zig in, zig out, come around, zig in, zig out, zig in, zig out. This is a great design for little boys' quilts. Looks very spiky. Kind of reminds me of the wheels on some of the toy cars. Some of the Asian influence designs, it looks fantastic. And again, as you play with this, play with adding less or more of the zig ins and zig outs. But you're simply still following that basic swirl, echo the tail. So let's go into a swirl. We're going to echo up the tail. I might throw in a zig out, zig in. I'm going to echo that spike. And then we're going to start around the back side. Now there I got buzzsaws because I did 2 zig outs instead of a zig out and a zig in. It's going to happen. Remember, the human eye is made so that the optic nerve will self-correct most of the things that it sees. And when I say things, I mean the inconsistencies. That's why so often we go through that period of time before our client arrives and we're nervous and oh my gosh, is it going to be okay? And then the client arrives and it looks fantastic to them. They don't see all the little things that we see. Zig in, go up. And those are a couple examples of how we utilize that basic swirl and then make it a little bit more fancy and move into the more spiky type of swirls.